Hello, hello, and welcome back to Flute Salad. Welcome back to the sick gang. Hang on a second. Why are there spiders everywhere? Welcome back to the sick gang. It seems we're all sick. Which is great. The whole gang is sick right now. I wish I could get that to stay. It's kind of annoying. How are we all, even if we're all, you know, sick and not very well? How's the music as well? It's not too loud, is it? Mouth is also dry as sand. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, so today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be animating in 3D. Let me turn that off, there we go. Yeah, we're all suffering right now. We're going to be, there we go, hopefully that's worked. I'm actually going to pull that up slightly like that. There we go. There. We're going to be popping that up like that. You know how yeah, we're all sick, All three of us are sick right now, which is great. Although I think I'm coming toward the end of everything. It's a little bit crazy. I've got some food with me, so if you hear some chomping, it's because I'm going to be chomping in the background as well. I don't know how long I'm going to stream today. I don't know if I'll actually get the animation done today. But we're just going to have a little bit of a chill time. The music is not too loud, is it? I hope. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is this is actually animation reference I got from Jurassic World Evolution 2. And it's of a Spinosaurus doing a run. And that is essentially all we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making a Spinosaurus do a run. A bit more practice for my animation because, you know, I'm studying it. And I want to do a thing on dinosaurs. I've got an apple, orange, some crisps and some crackers. And a chocolate bar. So what we're actually going to do to start off with is I'm going to delete these spikes models because they annoy me. There we go. Yeah, the music's not too loud, is it? I hope not. Right. I need to change some of the visibility settings on some of these things because I don't want to be... Yeah, I don't want to be seeing those extra bits. Get out of here. And then I want... that one on. That one off and that one off. There we go. Not the meal deal. Hey, it's not a meal deal. Is the sound okay? It's not too loud, is it? The music. You can hear me fine. I should have brought water with me. I'm dying. A bit. The music's too loud. Okay, hang on. There. Better? I hope that's better. So yeah, all we're going to be doing, essentially, is, yes, that's better. Okay, cool. We're going to be animating this big boy over here. So, yeah, it's just we're going to get a bit of practice. What we're going to do is we're going to select all of the key main controls we're going to want. So that's going to be the hip one there, the upper one here, the head here. It's also going to be the feet for now, and these arm controls that come along there, and the wrists. They're going to be our main ones, which we're just going to get the base of the animation done with before we start moving and doing on the rest. So I'm going to hit this button here. This creates a new layer, and I'm just going to click. What it does is it means I can right click that and push select objects. That does that, just selects all the things I just put in there. So that's just an easy way I can select all of these things. I'm back! Hello! Hello! So yeah, that's an easy way where I can just keyframe all of the main things at once. So we're going to do the main poses. So obviously the first one is this foot forward. So what we're going to do is we're literally just going to drag that foot forward. We're going to keyframe it, and we're going to that foot's kind of back up in the air. We're going to rotate it round. So when did you animate? Since years. Since years ago. I'm studying it for my uni course. Now, I haven't done this rig, I haven't used this rig too much, so it might take a little bit of time for me to learn it. And obviously there's extra controls here, so obviously his leg looks a little bit goofy. But there's extra controls which are all around his feet. Yeah, like that, which we'll have to look at later on. Because obviously you can see his foot looks very much broken at this point in time. But this will all be fixed later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring his body down just a tiny little bit. So his knees bend. Like that. I'm going to look at the reference. His head is sort of looking down a little bit more maybe. There. Nice and chilled. I'm going to look at how the arms are on that one. So they go back. And then these curl round as well. Maybe not that far back, but you know, point still stands. This is all going to be rough to begin with. Why are you not part of my things? Did I not add you? Why are you not added? I thought I added you guys. That's okay. Add selected objects. YouTube when type it, yeah. YouTube is a thing that exists. So, really simple. I'm actually going to bring this front down a bit. So, I've actually put it on FK. Sorry, IK, because I prefer IK bodies when doing dinosaurs. Only with dinosaurs, nothing else I prefer IK bodies for. But there you go. My sound keeps cutting out randomly. Is that just your end, or is that actually on my thing? Because actually on my thing, I'm going to have to look into it. All I'm going to do is now I'm just going to go, okay, I want this actually going to need to be 29, because the 29th is going to be the same as the first. So I'm going to middle click, drag it over here, let go. So now I've keyframed everything on the first frame and the last frame is identical. Now what I need to do, so this was actually the first frame that foot steps down. So the other side, this one first steps down, bop, there. Put a keyframe there on all of these guys. And then literally, I need to swap this so I can see that as 19 whatever, and everything else is on 0. So that's going to be 19, and the rest we're going to put on 0. Same deal again, we're going to come back here, and I'm going to say, okay, that's at 11 whatever. This one, we're going to put that there. So all I'm essentially doing is just mirroring the pose. Yeah, I don't know, YouTube is a bit weird sometimes when it comes to just anything, really, to be honest with you. Gonna pop that there. Oops. And that. Oh god, that's on the wrong foot. That one there. I've just copied 0, haven't I? Yeah. What a numpty I am. Right. So now, as you can see, we have this really rubbish this. But that's fine. This is exactly what we need for the start. Just for the start. Okay. Is he doing a run? Is it a walk he's doing? No, it is a run he's doing. Okay. So I'm now going to put in the crossover. So the pass is there. Is where that back leg passes that front leg. Right? Which is at frame 6. So we're going to keyframe that. All I'm going to do here, I'm going to just reset you back to there. And for now I'm going to pull it back. Now we will be changing this later on, but for now we're going to pull it back. So yeah, this is the frame that, if it wants to update, yeah, this is the frame that foot is coming in front of this one. So pull it in front a little bit, rotate it, pop it there. Bosh. And immediately that one's a little bit better. It'd be exactly the same, just that's 1, 2, counting the middle frame is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Counting the middle frame, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 will be the next passing pose. Same as this one, pop that there, drag it back. Then this one is going to come forward, and it's going to come up a little bit, like that. And immediately, we have something good going on here. We will get there, we will get there. It's just a case of building it up. Building it up. Okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the body. And I can see that the front kind of drops down and the back goes up. But I'm not going to worry about that now. We're going to do it in one solid movement. Okay, so I can see the back sort of goes up around the sort of back end of the step, and then during the passing it's at its lowest. So we're going to get these three controls. So we know, yeah, when it's at the back it's at the highest, when it's at the passing it's at the lowest. So when it comes to pass pose, we're going to literally just lower his body down. And we can do the same for the other passing pose, which was, what frame? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, frame 20. Just copy and paste it. So it looks very rough at the moment, as you can tell. Why did that not apply to all of it? Come on, you will need to go down. There we go. So it looks very rough at the moment. Imagine this dude coming after you. Nobody wants that. This is a yummy, yummy apple. But we will introduce offsets and whatnot later on in the process. Okay? Trust me, you gotta trust the process, alright? You gotta trust the process. What I'm going to do, I should have put water because that apple is stuck in my throat. Alright, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the feet a little bit more. Now we all know how much I love feet. It's a commonly known fact. I am the foot man, as you all know. I'm going to go to Windows at the top. I don't know if you can see it. It might be off the top of your screen slightly. Animation Editor is a graph editor. I'm actually going to put it on this screen so you can see it. Otherwise you won't be able to see it on my second screen. Oh god, I'm actually dying from this apple. So I'm going to click on one of the feet there and go to Translate Z. Now the whole time Translate Z is on, this should be a completely linear line. You can see it kind of eases in and eases out. When it's on the floor, we do not want it to be easing in and easing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that one. And then these two frames is when it's on the bottom and when it's on the top. I'm going to click this little handle here and just line it up with there, and then do the same here. Whoops. And all that's going to do is it's just going to mean that his foot, when it's moving along the floor, is moving along at a consistent, constant, exact speed. Alright? And then we're going to do the same for the other one. So I can see we're going to go on to Translate Z here, and I can see, well, this one, we don't need it anymore. And then we're just going to line these two up, because this is the time that it is on the floor. Like that. And we will need to do this one later on. In fact, we can cheat do it now, because you've got to think about it, this will be a cycle, so this is exactly the same as this. So imagine that line goes off up here as well. You can select both of them, and then just do it and it'll apply to both of them. And then this is what we'll be using later on as well. This will work later on. Okay? Line that up there. And that's all we need for now. And now his feet go along the floor. If I actually reduce this to the number of frames it will be. See, it's a little bit goofy looking. But trust me, it will work. We gotta trust the process. We gotta trust the process. So his feet are now moving along consistently at an exact speed. There is a bit of a blip that's going on with that one. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. So what I'm going to do to try and resolve this issue, I'm going to select it all, This is all of the keyframes I've set currently. We're going to select everything. We're going to curves pre-infinity cycle and curves post-infinity cycle. And now, as you can see, they continue before and afterwards. Right, without having to put the keyframes in, they're just doing that before and afterwards, which will be helpful for me being able to see what is causing that issue with this foot here. It's just a lot further forward there. But that is a consistent curve. Why is there a keyframe there? Hang on, I have confused myself. Why is there a keyframe there? That shouldn't be there. This frame and this frame should be exactly the same. Delete that, I'm not sure what it's doing there. No, what we're going to do is we're going to re-flatten this because it has caused us an issue. If I can remember how to do that. Is it that one? That one? That one. Re-flatten it. And then we're just going to re-make it linear again. Like that. Why is that popped all the way over there? You do not want to be there. Right. Does that solve my issue? Okay, that's a bit confusing. I think it's fine now. I think it's something that would just be disguised the more we do. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist, and if it causes me an issue, it's completely my fault. But being lazy. For being too lazy to work out what is causing the issue. Anyway, we're going to look at the body now. So if you actually look at this one up here, I've got it from above, you can see his body, as he steps, goes from side to side, side to side, side to side, right? So, it applies to everything. As soon as you know this, you'll be able to do it. So I'm going to look and I'm going to say, well, this foot is forward, so that is going to be that side, and also it's going to be rotated round outward a little bit. That way? That way. I think it's that way. Alright. Oh god, my lungs. I literally can't breathe because of that apple. It's killing me. Man dies because of apple. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy that over to the last frame. This frame, we're just going to essentially inverse it. It doesn't have to be exact, but we're going to go that way, and then we're going to rotate around there. Okay? And we'll rotate that around the opposing direction. Alright, we're going to move that way, rotate around the opposing direction, copy that over to there. Bosh. Now, as you can see, I've forgotten how to move. Hang on. The apple is distracting me. As you can see, this is very, very, very goofy. Alright? But that's fine. We do goofy. Goofy is what I'm good at. Okay? We're going to get a bit of arm movement going on. Okay? So we're going to select both these arms. Okay? And then as he's coming down, we're going to raise his arms up a little bit. Okay, maybe selecting all these at the same time is not the best idea I've ever had. And then also there. So he raises them, drops them. Okay, but I am going to do these separately because it was a silly idea doing what I just did. We're going to select the upper arms, both of them. We're going to go raise, and maybe out a little bit. Ah, they're not inversed, okay, and out a little bit. Then we're going to do these two, and we're just going to raise them as well a little bit. And then these two are going to be dropped, because as if they're going down, that's going up. Right? And then we're going to select all of them, and just do the exact same thing on the next time he goes up, so that'd be about there. Okay, and at the moment it doesn't look that much, but trust me, we will get there. We will get there. These are the steps you got to do. You got to trust the process. It might look terrible at the moment. When we get going, it will still probably look terrible, but hopefully look a little bit less terrible. Right? Now, next step, I'm going to look at the feet a little bit more. The feet we want to be in place. So we know they go back. Ooh, and you can see his toes, a little bit goofy. So all I'm going to do, now other rigs that I've used have a control I can use just specifically for the toes. Ooh, interesting. This rig, confused by that control. This rig doesn't seem to have them. So what we have to do is I have to do all of the toe bones separately. Okay, we're going to select the toes, select the toe bones, select the toe bones, like that. Now we've got all of them selected, they'll all bend. I don't know, I've got that selected still. Get rid of that. No, I don't want that, I just want the toes. Yeah, just the toes. As you can see, we can now control just his toes. Now I'm going to make another layer called L toes. Okay? This will just be his left toes. So he steps down there like that. As he's coming back, they're going to start to peel up like that. But that does look a little bit goofy, right? His foot just lifts off the floor. That's not really what we want. So we're going to lower his foot back down, maybe rotate it around a little bit, lower it back down. Again, we're not going to change the Z, because the Z we've already got in place. Okay? But we're just going to spin it around a little bit. Doesn't have to be fully. But just so his foot, there you go, comes like that. And now we can actually take another look back at our reference. You see by this point his toes have started to go back. And by this point his toes are completely in. Right? So we're going to select his toes. We're going to actually reset them back to 0, just so they're all zeroed out. Curl them in like that. Now the ones this side, we're going to pull in, and we're going to do the same here. Okay? So he grabs all his toes together a little bit more. Ooh. Now we're going to keep that there. Alright. And then steps down. Alright. Now again, it's not perfect, we're going to need to do more work to it. But for now, that is a good starting point. Right, that is a good starting point for what we're going to need to do. But yeah, we will do more of this later on. For now, we're going to come back to his other foot then. Whoop, this foot. And we do exactly the same thing. So we're going to select all the toe controls. We're going to, new one, R toes. Like that. R toes. Okay? Bosh. He steps down, he's got normal toes. Zero that out. Okay? Now this foot is a little bit more tricky because it starts in the air. But we're going to look at it. So that should still be flat like there, really. And then this is the point, it's going to start coming up. Like that. Again, as you can see, we're going to need to bring that foot down rotate it up a little bit. Like that. And then again, same thing. His toes just need to be touching the floor. Still have a bit of a bend, but just need to be touching the floor like that. There. Yeah, as I say, other rigs have this feature built into them. This one doesn't, so we have to manually do it by hand. Now, 29 is obviously going to be the same as 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all them, and you can actually look at the reference. What are these back feet doing? They're curling round. Okay. We can do that. Curl them round. Same deal again. Just bring them in a little bit. Bring them in a little bit. Okay? And this, as I say, is going to be exactly the same as number 1. And we're going to keep it going on until about frame 9. When he's about to step. There. Now, as again, very basic, alright? It's a very basic little thing. And I haven't done all the offsets with the body or the arms or anything yet. But just having his feet bend a little bit does so much. Okay? So, we're gonna have a look. You can see this bone here controls the in and out of the toes. Now this one's gonna be really important. Okay? So that's gonna be pretty much constant. 0 throughout that section. Then when it's in the air though, we need to curl his toes up round a bit more. So they're gonna come like that, and that's gonna come in closer, just so his feet get really, really, really close. Okay? And we're gonna maintain that for actually a long time. And then his feet, you can see here, splay on the floor. And that is exactly what you want. You want these feet to be splaying. So, we're going to start bringing them in together here. Da, da, da. Like that. And we're going to maintain that basically that whole time. Maybe even a couple frames longer. There, and then this one, we'll put it there actually. Come on, keyframe, please. Oh, because I was typing there. Delete that. Now we'll put it at 12. And then by 15, we're going to zero it back out. There. And then maintain that 0 almost that entire time. And there we go. We can see, I'm actually going to make a save scene as version 2. As you can see, those feet look a lot better. Alright? There's still a bit of work to be done with them, but they do look a lot cleaner. Now we're going to do the offsets for the body. So as I say, well, okay, dinosaurs are birds, alright? When birds move, they lead with their head and their body follows, right? So all we're going to do, first off, is fix the way he's looking. So he gets to here, he's looking over there. He doesn't want to be looking over there, he wants to be looking forward still. Right, he wants to be looking where he's going. Same deal over here, he wants to be looking where he's going. Alright, he wants to know what's going on. There. Okay? What we're going to do is select this and this, because these are the two we've animated. We're going to select them. We're going to pull this up. We're going to delay them both by, we'll say 2 frames to start with. Well, we'll go 3. We can always dial it back in again afterwards. Then I'm going to just do just the back one again, and offset it by another 3. So this will now be offset by 6 frames, this is offset by 3, this is the one that leads. And what that will do, it might be a little bit out of sync, yeah, but it creates the thing. He's leading with his head, and the body is following. Okay? Now at the moment it doesn't look much like a run, and more like he's going for a quick walk. But as I say, we're just developing it, and as you can see, that has done so much to it already. Right? That has done so much as animation already. Okay? Now I'm actually going to lift his head up a bit there where he does these ones. His head's falling. And then I'm actually going to compress it down a little bit more. Maybe even bring it up a bit more. For these bits. Oops, I need my 29 frames back. Thank you. That's too much. That's too much. Right, what I did there was way too much. Back a bit more, please. Back a bit more, please. There. Tiny little adjustment. Okay. His body, I think, goes too high, and his back should be the bit that's going higher than his body. So I'm going to open up this, and we're going to go to the translate Y, and all we're going to do is I'm just going to raise the whole thing up a little bit, and then bring those peaks just slightly higher. And then here, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to get the translate Y, and I'm just going to move the whole thing a tiny bit lower. And I'm also going to compress it down a little bit, just to give it less of an effect. There, that's not bad. That's getting somewhere, right? Again, it's a thing of baby steps. You know, it is a thing of baby steps. But that is starting to get somewhere. Now, his feet are a little bit far apart. You really want them to be a bit closer. So what control actually is it? What is that? That's translate X. Now neither of them have any things on translate X, so I'm going to delete that for now. Okay? We're going to bring that foot in to this, and we're going to copy this over to here. Now I might have to, I'll have to make it a positive, so invert it. There. His feet a lot closer. I might even bring them in a little bit more. It's a big animal, so its weight has to be under it, really, the whole time. Okay? Now we might experience a little bit of clipping, but that's fine. I kind of actually want that, because what looks good is if you rotate his feet out a little bit when he's doing his step, like that. Same through here, when he's doing his step, or rotate his foot out and move it out a little bit. Okay? And then reset them back to 0 here. Okay? Now I actually did mess that up a little bit, because here that needs to be maintained up until there, and it's only this bit it needs to come out. H, I agree, H. I believe in the power of H. Now same to here, that comes out there, but then the rest of it should be in. There. Alright? We're getting somewhere. Okay? we're slowly starting to develop this up a little bit. Now, the thing I did with the body, where I did the offsets, I'm going to do the exact same thing here with the arms. So I'm going to select all these. I'm going to get this up, okay? We're going to actually deselect these top ones, but the rest we're going to offset them by, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 frames, and we're also going to hit R and okay, we're going to we're going to delete all the transforms and scale. So we'll only be altering the rotation, okay? And we're going to just scale that up, just give it a little bit more movement. And we're going to do the same here. We're going to deselect them. We're going to select just those N2 and delay them by another 3 frames and make it slightly bigger. Wow, so cool, thank you. And that will add the overlapping action that's going to travel down the arm like that. And as you can see, they're both moving at the exact same time. You never really want something to be symmetrical timed in an animation. So all I'm going to do is this arm on the left, I'm going to delay all of its movements by another 2 frames. Right? And now it's a very small little difference, but this arm here is moving at a different rate to this one here. Okay? I'm also actually going to turn up the rotate Zs on both of these, please. Where's the other one? Oh no, I want both of them selected. Thank you. Very small little offsets, but you'll be surprised at how much they add. I'm going to do the exact same thing here now with the fingers. Now I might actually be able to do them both at the same time, I'm not sure. Okay, select all the finger controls. Now, are they all controlled? Yeah, they're all controlled, blah blah blah. This is the only axis I'm actually going to want. Okay? So we're going to want the same on frame 1 and 29. So let's actually look at it. So, he's dropping. When he drops, we're going to want these fingers to come out, as if gravity's taking them. And then, as he steps back up, he's going to pull them in. Right? As he steps up, he's going to pull them in. Down on that side, does it? Yeah, no, he needs to hang on, let me get my head around this. Out, in. That in needs to be sooner, I think. And then the out needs to be back here. No, that one, that one. That's all you need doing. Maybe he comes out a little bit too extremely, but there. And there. There. We are starting to get somewhere. It still looks a little bit like a walk. And I think the reason is because his feet, if you actually look at the reference, you see, woof, those feet come up quite high. Now, we still got a little bit of work to do with the feet. Right, but if you look at the reference, those feet are coming up quite high. Okay, and as he's not really, you know, he's not really doing that. It looks like he's going for a little jog, right? How I'm going to do that is when we get to the passing poses, I'm just going to raise the foot up a little bit more. Same here, passing pose, we're going to raise the foot just up a little bit more. That might be a tiny bit too high. There. Okay, starting to get somewhere. Now, there's sort of more work to do with the feet and everything, but I want to get some tail action in, because the tails are always easy. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. Okay, and we're just going to do the left and right to begin with. Now we're gonna key everything, but then deselect them. So we're only keying the rotates. Okay, and we're gonna just start by doing the left and right, because the left and right is the easiest. Okay, so we're actually gonna deselect all them and put it on the start frame. Okay, so you got to think, how is the tail going to move? So obviously, when it's moving left to right, it's going to do one complete rotation. And what I mean by that is, you know, you've got to think, when he's stepping, you can actually look at the reference. You're able to see it. When he's got that foot forward, his tail's bent slightly around that way. And then when he's got that leg forward, it's bent around the other way. Right? So when he's got that foot forward, his tail is going to bend slightly round. Was it that way? I've got confused. Yeah, slightly round that way. Key those frames. I'm just going to copy that, put it on the end frame. Okay. When we get to the middle, which was here, I believe, just invert it. Okay. So at the moment, it's just going to do that, which doesn't look great. There's more we're going to do to it. The tail is going to go up and down twice the amount. So you've got to think it goes step, step, bosh. Okay? I don't know if you can see it in the reference. You can. So you can see his tail's up. Oh god, I've pulled my timeline out. His tail's up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and then loops back. Okay? So now the one that does that is going to be our, is it rotate X? No, rotate Z. Rotate Z. Okay? Is the one we're going to want. So we actually don't want rotate X at all. Okay, so we're going to delete that. So, rotate Z comes up a little bit. It's also going to come up on here, because you've got to think about it. It will still be up, because that foot's up, and it'll be up here as well. Okay? Right, but it's also going to come down then for the passing poses. So we're going to bring it down, maybe something like that. So for 2 passing poses, bosh. So now we have this movement of the tail, which looks fine, but it doesn't look amazing. Alright, and we're going to do the exact same thing we did for the feet. And the for the body and the arms and everything, okay? With the tail. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this graph editor back up, okay? I'm actually going to select it all for all of it, and then hit F. That's just going to focus on it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to curve pre-infinity cycle, and curves post-infinity cycle. So now loop forever. Deselect that first joint, the rest of it, delay 2 frames, scale the movement up a little bit. Same deal again. Next frame, delay 2, scale the movement up a little bit. Next one, delay 2, scale the movement up a little bit. Next one, delay 2, scale the movement up a little bit. Last one, delay 2, scale the movement up a little bit. And now, we have an overlapping tail. And it's that simple to get an overlapping tail. And that tail is going to add so much to our animation. Right? We've got a lot of work still to be doing. And I'm going to eat an orange. But, that tail is doing a lot for us. Now, I've just realised I haven't actually got any rotation, I think, upwards or downwards on the body or the hips. So the next thing I'm going to do, once I've eaten my orange, is we're just going to add that. Da-dun, da-da-da-dun, whilst chilling to some peak music. Da-da-da-dun, da-dun, da-da-da-dun, da-da-da. If I can peel it, that is. There we go. Peels the orange. Right. I would point out as well, also on my second monitor, I've got a thing as looking down the camera's perspective. It's just a temporary camera. I've got a 3/4 angle, so I can view that on my second monitor. Right. Dun 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 dun. Delicious orange. Okay. I think there's a bit of a snap there with a head. Not sure though. So I'm gonna remake sure that is the same there. Just look like it jerks forward a little bit, doesn't it? I think just does it more. Movement here than here might just be it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But as you can see, we're starting to make some more progress with it, right? And it looks almost like, I mean, it still doesn't really look like a run, but neither does this, really. It's more like a sort of light jog. It's more a light jog he's going on. What I may actually do is I want his head to be down more a little bit, a bit more in line with his body. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag that down. Just get his head to be a bit lower. You know, like he's got a sort of low profile. Right, that looks cool. I might lower this bit of the body too as well, actually. A little bit more. Yeah, that looks more menacing. Look at that. It's like an angry crocodile coming after you. Which is essentially what he is. Okay, now we've got a bit of foot kick back there. I think this might go back a little bit too far. We'll look into that in a minute. Right. We're going to do the mouth in a minute. But not now. Not now. What is our next step, do we think? What is going on there? I may bring these both in a frame. I think maybe the offset is slightly too much. That looks a bit better, I think. Quite sure. Not quite sure, you know? Too much. Too much. Calm that down. I think it might be the rotation. I've not really got much rotation on. Again, easy fix. We're gonna go there. We're going to duplicate that all the way. Can I do it this way? I don't know if I can. Don't know if I can. Don't know if I can. Can I do this? I can. Yeah, that's good. proper coming after you. That's the rotation of the head is what it is causing the issue, I think I've just realised. If I can actually select the right control would be nice. Yeah, he needs to be looking just directly straight forward. Same here, he just needs to be looking directly straight forward. A bit too far. In fact, we'll go to front view, we'll turn it off that mode, please. Turn it to orthographic view. And we'll line it up this way. And then we'll rotate it round a little bit that way. Round a little bit that way. Oh yeah, that's better. That's so much better. Okay. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. Right, there's a very rough animation still. Well, I'm still not really a fan of how the legs are moving. But for a rough little practice, not bad. Now, we're going to look at these spines. Now, we're going to animate these spines only very subtly because we don't really want to be doing too much with them. And really, they're going to just do the same thing that the body's doing, so that's going to come down there. That frame could be the same on twin verse of it. This frame. Okay, but now they're all moving in unison, and I do want it to sort of follow the flow of the body. So, exact same deal we've done a million different times before. Right? Delete them. We've only got the rotation that we want. Okay. Exact same deal we've done a million times before. First frame, no. 2 frames later. Actually, I lied. Loop it, please. Cycle. Cycle. We're gonna need that, that's imperative. Delay it a little bit. Delay it a little bit. Delay it a little bit. I think maybe we do want to scale it up a little bit, the movements as it goes. So. Might be too much. Nah, I think that's fine. It's just a very, very little subtle movement, but I think it does add a lot, you know? I think it does add a lot. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same. So he has these little controls underneath him, and these are little, like, fat roll things. So one on his body, we'll do that one separately. Okay, and it's just going to be the exact same thing again. So we know it's this one we want. We're going to key selected, that one, and we go, okay, spin it around that way a little bit. Key that one, middle frame inverted. There. Exact same deal, except I'm not going to scale up that bottom one, we're only going to scale up the other ones. But, we'll do them separately, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And then these two are the ones we want to scale up, so we'll go there, scale up the movement, and then scale up the movement there. And what that does is it adds a little bit of swing. Don't know if you can see it too well. The whole thing might need scaling up a little bit, actually. But it creates... yeah, there you go, now you can see it. That's too much. But you can see it creates a little swing in the neck fat. like so. Just creates a little swing in the neck fat, and that does so much in making your thing look good. I'm actually going to scale up this one too. But that does so much without even noticing. Now this one we are actually going to scale up to. We'll do that separate. So it's not in tandem with the others because it's the body. The body's not going to... I think I just moved it. I didn't actually scale it. The chest isn't going to do it as much. Chest is where it's going to start petering out. There we go. And then there's one underneath the body we're just going to do manually. Just on these frames. So again, it's going to be that way for here. Copy that over there. And then do the inverse. Okay. And suddenly we've got this big fella chasing us. Now what we can actually do to test if it is looping correctly, we'll go like 400 frames in. And we'll see if it's still working. Now as you can see, it's not working. So at some point we've got something wrong with the animation. Actually, as you play it, you will see as it goes on, something in his foot is not looping. So just re-loop it. Loop, loop. That's working, but as you see his toes, I've clearly forgot to loop his toes. Or both of his feet, actually. Select the objects. Select everything. Now we need to bring that back down to our desired thing. Those toes. There. Okay. And it's starting to get there. Now I do think I want the peak on these to be a little bit higher. Maybe I want to add some rotation to it as well. Just up the rotation a little bit, not that one. There, there, there. There we go. And it's starting to get somewhere. Okay, we'll delete back down to the number of frames it actually is. Now, this foot here is a lot slower. This one steps down, this one eases down. I think it's just simply due to how it ends. Yeah, that just needs to be a little bit sharper of a drop, I think. So what I might just do is just drag them both back a frame and see if I can fix my issue. Make it a bit sharper. Or simple solution. What am I doing? What am I doing? Pull them back to where they're supposed to be. Flatten them both back out. Just raise his foot before it hits the floor a little bit. Delete that one maybe. That's better. Maybe just want it to be a smooth little movement. That's good. That's fine. That creates the effect I'm looking for. And you can see, just like that, we have our running boy. Now, I'm going to quickly do the mouth. Now, when he's falling, I want to just close it a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Why did that not do anything? Just close it a tiny bit. Maybe open it a little bit here. Just tiny bits. Just tiny bits. Yeah. Minor, tiny little movement here. Don't know what is causing that head to be like that. Nothing looks particularly sharp on the graph editor. It's all a slow ease in, ease out. It might be you. But no, it was there before I even added you. I don't know. What if we just like make the whole thing be a frame earlier? It's even worse. We'll make the whole thing be a frame later. What is this? I think I've located my issue. Hang on. Everything go back to where you were. Yeah, what is going on with you? You are my issue. Why are you the way that you are? Delete it and start again. Delete it and start again. Oh no, that's that one. No, that's fine. Take it back, come back. It might just be the way it's looping, it might just be fine, it's just that maybe it has a lag spike when it loops. I think it might have a lag spike when it loops. And that's fine, really, you know? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to render it as this. I'm not going to do proper effort into my rendering. We're just going to get a little bit of light up in here. Should we like that? Is it better with that? No, I like it. Yeah. So guys, there's a little animation here. What we're going to do is we're going to clay blast it. Getting something up afterwards. We're going to do just that one. Okay. I'm also going to render it into 1080p. Now we're just going to play blast it. It's not going to be a super high quality render, but we don't really need it to be that. Play blast that out. Do 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 do. Now, I'm going to check, because it won't lag when I put it in here. Give me a minute. Right, put it there. All I'm going to do, just that. Now it won't lag when it restarts it. And I can see, yeah, no, the head is fine. It is just the fact it lagged when it started. And there's our animation. Woo! I nearly fell off my chair. Oh my god. Yeah. That's your animation. It's not perfect. I have work to do with the feet. I could have done a lot more with the feet. But just for how long was I doing that? An hour and 10 minutes. Not bad for an hour's work. Not bad for an hour's work. Now there's a lot more controls I could do with the feet there. I could bend the feet down when he's doing a step, and I could sort all the toes out. And I could do a million different things with it. But honestly, for an hour's work, I'm happy with that. I'm going to call that an hour well spent. An hour well spent. Is it perfect? No. Is there a lot more work I could do for it? Yes. For an hour, am I super happy with how it's come out? Yeah. I am. And that's where we're going to end this stream. I was going to say video. It's not a video, it's a stream. That's... I had my audio turned off. Thank you greatly for coming along. And ta-ra.